So welcome to this session. Today we're going to be looking at the water element and bringing that into our body, which it's already in our body. They say actually we are 70% water, and so is the earth. And so we're going to be connecting to the water in our practice and the beautiful qualities of flow and fluidity that the water can bring. And so this makes our whole body move in a different way in the practice and may bring some pleasure, if you'd like to move your body in that way. So this is an option for you. We're going to begin with a little meditation, just gently closing the eyes, or if you don't like closing the eyes, then you can look down at the floor with the eyes very soft. So try to soften the gaze of the eyes and try to relax the face at the same time. And I invite you to soften the shoulders and the arms and the body, but still keeping that spinal column lifting up, like the head is floating up. And breathing whichever way feels right in this moment, deeply or gently. I just invite you to feel the saliva in the mouth, the water element. Just feeling that inside the mouth, the tongue, the roof of the mouth, around the teeth, the gums. And in the eyes, this fluid that is coating and lubricating the eyes. You can just move the eyes around a little bit. And we're starting to honor the water. If that water was not present, we would have a completely different experience. Everything would be totally dry. The body is 70% water. A lot of fluid, a lot of blood. Synovial fluid in the joints, lubricating them. So we're honoring all of the fluids inside. Breathing into that. And honoring the water element on the earth outside of us, all the seas and rivers and the oceans, lakes, all the body of water. Outside and inside. There's a beautiful poem by Mirabai, who is a very ancient poetess. And there's a beautiful poem called A Great Yogi. And so as we sit here, I'd love you to absorb the words of this poem as much as you can. She says, "On my travels, I spend time with a great yogi. And once he said to me, become so still that you can hear the blood flowing through your veins. Become so still that you can hear the blood flowing through your veins." That night, as I sat quiet, I seemed on the verge of entering a world inside that was so vast. I know it is the source of all of us. I know it is the source of all of us. So just take a few more moments here, seeing if you can hear the blood flowing through your veins. And even if you can't, which is quite possible, just this very act of listening deeply, carefully, to the most subtle movement is bringing us deep into that present moment in our practice. So we can have pure presence and also joy and pleasure with this water element. So let's start to move like the water, allow the spine to ripple. And just keep looking in. So we're going, inhaling and arching the back, lifting the head, and exhaling, rounding and dropping the head. Going like this from one to the other. And imagining that you have X-ray eyes and you can see the spinal column with the spaces in between the vertebrae, which is allowing this snake-like movement up through the spine. Otherwise, it would just be straight and stiff if it was all one piece. So all of these vertebrae and the spaces and the discs in between, and the fluid, the spinal fluid, we are able to move like this, like the water, like a wave, like a snake. So just going into that wave-like motion and seeing if you can enjoy. Don't worry if you're doing it wrong. We want to let go. Pleasure comes from letting go. So starting to move, and then come back to center and start to move the head, rotating the head. The water element is moving. We can coordinate the breath. If you want to breathe with sound, Ujjayi breath is also called oceanic breath. Go the other way. So we feel like the ocean is inside of us. As it is, we are full of water. So feeling that ability to be flowing and fluid. Good, and now just swaying a little bit from side to side. And coming up, lifting the arms and reaching. Let's bring the hands together and interlink the fingers. And we're just going to flow from side to side like a wave. Again, with the shoulders, the hands are moving. The rest of the body is in stillness. So I'm not moving my head or my body, just the hands. And so my shoulders are really feeling the movement. Good. And then let's drop the left elbow down and just take a few oceanic breaths into the whole of the body, feeling the right shoulder. Relax the left shoulder a little bit more. And then release the hands and see if you can feel the flow of blood going down through the right arm in particular. Hear the blood flowing through the veins. And inhale again. Rise up, reach. Interlink. Sway from side to side, keeping the head and the body still. Just looking into the shoulders, and then take the right elbow down. Lift up the head. Relax the arms as much as you can and breathe deeply. Breathe into the left shoulder. Relax as much as you can. The right shoulder. And listen to that sound of the ocean, the oceanic breath inside of you, flowing within you. And release the arms down. Feel the flow of blood right down through the left arm in particular. Feel both arms. Good, and reaching and swaying from side to side like the ocean. Exhaling down, inhaling, rise. Exhaling down and inhaling, rise. Exhaling down, inhaling, rise. And let's start to move the arms a little bit more, flowing. Exhaling down, inhaling, rise. Exhaling down in your own time with your own flow. And last one. And dropping the hands down, feeling the sides of the body that have been opened in that warm-up technique. Good, and now let's go a little bit deeper. We'll come forward and come on to the left knee. Let's take the right leg out like this. If it's uncomfortable, you can put a cushion under the knee, and let's come up. We're going to inhale here, and exhale, we're going to reach down to the floor and bring, for a deeper side stretch, that right arm over. And you may feel like you can start to move that arm. If it doesn't feel right, then just keep it still. Start to bring the breath in. And notice the deep opening of all the fascia in the body and the shoulder. Last rotation. And bring it back to where it was, and then inhale, rise. Exhale to the other side. Opening the left side of the body. Breathing into the left side and back. Good. And let's bring the hands down and take it back to downward facing dog, just to transition. Open the hands, the fingers, drop the head, and then bring the right knee down and the left leg up. My left foot is facing forward. Gonna inhale here and then exhale very carefully down to that side. Just feeling what you feel. A deep stretch. I can feel this in my hip. I can feel it in the side, in the stomach, in my shoulder. And see if it's comfortable to turn that arm. You can turn it any way. We're just looking for the opening and the fluidity in the shoulder, the rotations, the movement. Keep breathing. And then bringing it back and rise up. And flowing to the other side. Opening the right side of the body. Good. And coming down onto both knees now and both hands. So hands and knees, and just doing a little bit of cat and cow to feel again, like we did at the beginning, the snake-like motion of the spinal column. When we start to really look in, we can feel a lot of appreciation for the way that the body is put together, the skeleton, and all of the fluid that is lubricating the joints so we can move in a fluid manner. And now we're going to keep that movement going, but we're going to start to turn the hips and do a little bit of freestyling. Just getting into this flow. Imagine the waves. The sea is getting more stormy. And there's a lot of turning and twisting. Enjoying this movement and the other direction. And we can start to move a little bit back and forward. And then going into a gentle upward facing dog and back into child's pose. As you rise round the back and then arching nice and gentle like a wave. So we're going to be rolling up like a wave and then opening and back, rounding. And try this a few more times, bringing even more fluidity to the spinal column. You can go as slow as you want, as gentle as you want. Really listen to your body. Good. And last one. We're going to roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Open out and reach. Exhale down. Inhale, reach to the front of the mat and exhale down. Inhale, rise into a baby cobra. And we're just going to bring our elbows in. Breathe into the ground so you're massaging all of the internal organs. And on the next inhalation, see how far you can come up. And exhale down. Inhale, rise. Exhale down. Inhale, rise. Exhale down. The feet are open hip distance. And elbows are in, shoulders down as we come up into Cobra. And now we're going to come all the way up. Keep pushing and like a wave. Go back and roll up. Inhale and rise. Reach. Exhale down. And again, let's really think about the ocean as we do this movement. Exhale. Inhale. The wave is rising. Exhale, it's crashing. Inhale, it's rolling up. And exhale down. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, heart to the earth. Inhale, rising. Exhale, rolling up. Inhale, opening. And exhale down. Last one. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Inhale, rise. Exhale down. Inhale, open wide, and exhale all the way down. Good. And just feeling. You can place your hands on the lower abdomen. This is the home near the pubic bone and the sacrum, the home of Swadhisthana chakra, the water element, is within us, displayed in the energetic system as well as the physical body. And just breathing into that area of the body, right down into the sacrum of the back and right into the front near the pubic bone area in the pelvic bowl. And also the kidneys, all in this area, the bladder. The water element. Good, and let's come into a flow, opening the hips. We're going to reach forward and bring our right leg into a lunge. And then you can put one hand on either side. And I'm just going to start to move a little bit from side to side. So this practice is bringing in movement in order to open the body rather than just staying stiff in a yoga practice, we can actually take some time in the lunge and really feel. Now I can feel my psoas stretching the front of the left hip. There's a deep stretch happening. And then I can move back nice and slowly into half Hanumanasana, which is called Ardha Hanumanasana, or this half lunge, half splits, sorry. So Hanumanasana is the posture we know as the splits, and this is the half version. So we're going to go back and forward from one to the other, lifting the heart, inhaling, and exhaling, slowly coming back. And again, bringing in this flow and fluid motion. Inhale, rise, like the wave, and exhale down. Inhale, rise, like the wave. Exhale down. Last one, inhale, rise. Exhale down. And now inhale, rise, and strong back leg coming onto the toes, and the back leg is really straight. And I'm going to take my right hand inside, looking down at the ground. The left hand rises up. I'm looking down, I'm trying to ground for stability. And if I feel like, I'm stable, I can turn and look up to the hand. And then exhale down. And the same here. Now we're coming into a twist. We're going to rise. We're looking down for stability. And if we're able to, then we're looking up. And now dropping that hand down and back to downward facing dog. I'm going to lift the left leg up and bring it into the lunge. And then just feeling the lunge. Also, if the knee is a little bit challenged by being on the floor, it's nice to put a little cushion underneath. And just swaying from side to side. So this psoas muscle here down the right side of the hip. I'm starting to feel my left hip, the front of my right hip. And I'm breathing into those places. Feeling this opening in the hip area, the pelvic bowl area, the home of the water element. Good, and then I can come back in Ardha Hanumanasana, very gently, not hurting the body is essential in yoga. We're not forcing or pushing, but we are flowing. Try to feel the difference. Yeah. Flowing is much more fun. Flow, and then is a soft flow, loving and caring flow, which is therapeutic. We're bringing love and kindness into our body. Breathing in. Last one here. And then let's straighten that leg and look down to the floor, left hand down with the left foot, and then I'm slowly rising up through the right arm. Both arms are straight, and if I feel balanced, I will turn and look up. And then exhale down, and now for the twist, looking down, and then turning, and breathing, and back to downward facing dog. And let's just move in down dog. Let's feel those hips, feel the lunge. Turn the head. rise right up onto the toes. Let's bend the knees like we are about to jump, but we're going to step in. Inhale, rise up onto the fingertips. And let's do this a few times. This is a beautiful movement. Exhale down. Inhale, rise like a wave up through the spine. And exhale softly down. Inhale, rise. Exhale softly down. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale, letting go. Inhale, filling up. And exhale, going a little bit deeper. Inhale, lift all the way up. And exhale, flowing down. Good. Inhale into the heart. We're going to keep this flow going. Surya Namaskara. Exhale, touch the earth. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, pull the body down. Let's bring the hands together this time into a forward bend. Inhale, rise. And exhale, step back. We'll use the modification to begin with. Drop the knees and down. Inhale, rise. And exhale, back. We'll do a variation where we step the feet together and inhale, rise, lift the right leg up. Exhale into a lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms up, open the heart. And exhale, back onto the knees and modified chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Feet together, left leg, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. You just feel like the water element is coming more into a lake, a still body of water. After all the waves, all the flow and fluidity. Good, and inhale, rise. Exhale, let's step in. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine as much as you can, softly down. Bending the knees and rising into chair. And exhale. All the way down. And just take a moment here to breathe, to feel the effects of the movement so far. Surya Namaskar be in a variation. Feel what's going on inside. Feel the blood, feel the water element, maybe the sweat. And so this is a beautiful sign of purification. And the sweat, the water coming out of the skin. Detoxifying, purifying. Water cleanses. Good. And let's come into a balance pose. So we'll bring the feet together. And for this balance pose, I'd love to do this dancing shiva. So there are different steps along the way, this is the first step, just to catch the foot or the ankle. And then to bring the right hand forward. And just see if we can, I like to turn the palm up. Balancing on one leg. Again, when we come into balance postures, try to have a one point of focus. So we're looking at a point in front of us. And our eyes are still. We're going to express this very beautiful dancing shiva as we take one knee back. The left knee is coming back. And we can also stay here in a gentle dancing shiva. Or if we want to go deeper, we start to move the body forward and lift the left foot up. We're pressing it back. Breathe. And let's just bend that right knee a little bit as we come down. And very smoothly, we're going to place the hands and take that leg out. And we're going to sweep. And for our last one, we're going to reach forward into warrior three and rise. And feel. Good, and let's come to the other side. The right leg bending, and left palm up. Looking down at one point, and then seeing how far you want to go. It might not be the same on this side. So we're really feeling into the body, honoring the body, not trying to perform, but listening carefully. Deeply. Coming down, hands on the hips, smoothly. Right leg goes out, and then smoothly into warrior three. And up. Inhale. And exhale down. Beautiful. Feeling the balance postures, the after effects. Close the eyes and observe what is arising. Good. Inhale, flowing up with the arms. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, rise up onto the fingertips. And exhale, we're just going to come back into downward facing dog. And let's rise up onto the toes. And we're going to step. So I'm step here, halfway in. And then I bring the left foot there. And then I can cross the legs and sit down. If that's too much, you can just step, and come into a squat like this, and then sit down. I'm going to bring my feet together in butterfly pose, which is also called Baddha Konasana in Sanskrit. And usually this posture is just held like this, which is beautiful as well. But as we're working with the water element, we're going to bring movement in. And I find this really helpful because it starts to open the pelvic bowl, the hip area. So I'm going to really focus on my pelvic bowl area. And just do very gentle and small rotations. And I can feel my sitting bones on the ground. And I'm going around the sitting bones. So maybe you want to use that to ground you as a point of focus. I'm going to breathe into the pelvic bowl. I'm going to really encourage this movement in the pelvic bowl, because that's where the posture is coming into. Yeah, it's opening up this area. And then go in the other direction. Breathing into the pelvic bowl, into the Swadhisthana chakra, the element of water, which resides in the sacrum and the pubic bone area. And then moving back and forth. You can round the back if you'd like to. As you go back, drop the head. Start to breathe in coordination with the movement. Inhale forward, exhale back. Slow down the movement. Become more and more subtle. And then come forward. Release the hands and open to this movement from side to side. So even if you can just go like a little bit, you can still do side to side. But you first find your edge. How far can you move forward? And then bring in the movement from side to side. I find it more helpful rather than just staying still. Because when I go side to side, it's opening the lower back at the side of the lower back. And I'm breathing in, I'm feeling the body. And it helps me to let go, it helps me to relax. And then the body feels safe and I can go a little bit deeper, maybe. Maybe you can, maybe you want to stay where you are. Onto the elbows, breathing a little bit here. And then totally relaxing. Going as deep as you want to without any strain or pushing. And we'll use our breath. We're going to deep breath in, exhale out through the mouth with a sigh. Deep breath in. And again. And last time, as you sigh, feel like the body is softening, letting go, surrendering. Good. Slowly coming up. Bringing the knees in, hugging the knees, coming into a tiny ball. And just making a moment to really appreciate your body. This water element that lies within the body. Squeeze, feel the juiciness of the body, the softness, the hydration inside, full of water. Squeeze that. Good, and rising up. We're going to take the knees open and the heels here, hands on the outside. And this is another balance pose, but now we're balancing in a sitting position. I'm just going to lift the heels off the ground and keep breathing. And if this is enough for you, then you can stay here. Otherwise, you can slowly bring them halfway and stop again and just see how it feels. It's very easy to roll backwards, so try to keep the spine up Shoulders down. And see how straight you can bring the legs. Maybe you just want to keep them bent a little bit. If you can straighten the legs in Upavishta Konasana, then you can press through the balls of the big toes, or you can point the toes. See which feels better. I like to press through the balls of the big toes. And then the final position is to look up. And the advanced posture is smiling. Bringing pleasure into the practice. And seeing if you can move together. If you need to bend the knees, then bend and bring them back into butterfly. Bring them as far in as you can. Inhale. And exhale all the way down. Just one breath, as deep as you can, and then inhale, rise up. And exhale, straighten the legs. And then just lean back and go a little bit from side to side. Feel the hips. Hips have been opened deeply in that posture. Good. Keep the breath flowing, keep that oceanic breath moving inside. And we'll go onto our backs. We're going to lie down, so roll down onto the back now. And we're going to bring the feet up like this and come into bridge. So this is a beautiful movement. We lift the sacrum first, hands are down. And then we peel the vertebrae up one at a time. We can press the hands down, the arms down, the head down, the feet down. Whatever's on the ground is pressing down, and we rise up. And then we're going to interlink the fingers, walk the shoulders under, and press down again. We come a little higher, hopefully. And then rise up onto the toes, take the hands under the hips, or on the hips, or near the sacrum. And breathe here. See if you can do right leg rising. Inhale. And exhale down. Left leg rising. Inhale. And exhale down. Good. Release. And roll. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Really slowly. And the sacrum lands very softly. And it feels gorgeous. And so the next one is an advanced posture. If you don't feel like doing this, it's too deep, you can repeat the one we've just done. Or alternatively, if you're feeling tired, you can just rest with your hands on your heart or down towards Swadhisthana chakra, the lower abdominal area. I'm going to show you how to come up into the next posture. We're going to bring our hands under our shoulders. And very slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, we rise up like this, like we just did in bridge. And then I'm going to slide my head and come onto the top. I want to see my hands in front of me, and I want to bring the elbows into a parallel position and the knees. And I can either stay here, or I can push up into the full back bend, chakrasana. I can walk my hands in for a deeper back bend, and then breathe, relax the head. Lift the hips up, power through the legs, opening the chest. Breathing as long, staying as long as you want, and when you want to come down, walk, come back. And roll down like we did in bridge. Okay, so just taking a few moments to do that in your own time. Now, and I'm just going to be here, resting after the back bend and allowing my spine to come into a neutral position. So when you come down, you can rest here. If it feels right and like natural for you to hug your knees in, see how that feels. I like to do that after back bend, hugging the knees in. And just maybe swaying a little bit from side to side. So we're going to come up to sitting. I'm going to lift my feet like this and push a little bit and then sweep up. And to counterbalance the spine, what we're going to do, and you can also do this lying down. So if you don't want to sit up, you can take a strap and you can lie down with the strap on your back. And this is a forward bend, but we're lying down. And it's nice because you have a straight spine, yeah? And if you want to try the sitting up, Paschimottanasana, you can use a strap as well. If you don't have a strap, just use a scarf or a towel or something. And if you're flexible enough to reach your feet with the spine straight, then that is great. We're going to inhale here. And just take a few breaths with the spine elongating as we inhale. And as we exhale, we're finding our depth. Inhale, rise. Almost like the ocean again, bringing that spinal flow. Inhale, exhale, soften. Inhale, rise. Undulating through the spine. Exhale, soften. And again, inhale, rise. Exhale, soften. One more time. And exhale all the way down into a very gentle forward bend, Paschimottanasana, resting. And see if you can soften everything, your face, your jaw, your forehead, your shoulders, your hands and fingers, your belly. Feel the hamstrings at the back of the legs stretching. The whole of the back body is stretching in Paschimottanasana. It's calming the nervous system, bringing us back into parasympathetic, very calming and healing. And just a few more moments here, really letting go. And slowly inhale and rise and just feel the effects, the calming effects of Paschimottanasana. To finish, we're going to do the inversion shoulder stand. This is the modification that we just did. If you don't want to do shoulder stand, then you can stay here with the legs up. Yeah. And if you do want to do shoulder stand, and then we're just going to do half shoulder stand today, a gentle version, where we bring the feet back and then we press down and we lift the bum like this.
And then the hands come here. And we're not going into a straight line. We're just going to bring the hands to the hips. And see if you can walk your elbows in so they're in a parallel position. Press the back of the head down. And breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Feet are together. And we're feeling the flow of the blood coming down into the upper body, into the face, freshly oxygenated blood. There's beauty in going upside down. It's very powerful. At the end of the practice, it takes out the toxins in the body through the lymphatic system. As the lymphatic system is activated through inversions. So the longer we stay, if we can stay here for a few minutes, then that's really good. You'll get more of a cleansing of the toxins, the lactic acid. And it's also a cooling posture, so after creating heat through the breath, through the movement, we start to cool down at the end of our practice. And energetically, we're bringing the energy into the higher chakras. See if you can feel the throat filling up with energy. As the energy from up above, the planets, the cosmos up above is pouring down. It goes through the feet, through the legs, all the way down through the spine into the throat. Just a few more breaths here, trying to feel that. Good, and then slowly release the hands by dropping the legs over. And vertebrae by vertebrae. And we go down nice and slowly. I'm going to straighten the legs and just allow the legs to go to the ground. And we come into fish, Matsyasana, the water element. So placing the thumbs under. Walking the hands down, placing just the thumbs under, not the whole hand, because I find it doesn't allow me to open my chest well. I'm going to press down through the elbows, bring the elbows a little bit in, and then I can really open my throat. The top of the head is on the ground. I can look up to the third eye and breathe into the heart. Breathing here in this Matsyasana fish pose. The neck is counterbalanced after being in shoulder stand. Now my throat is open, and there is this beautiful ability to open into a free expression of what we say, expression of our creativity. Expression of truth. Last breath here. And slowly down. And just feel the after effects of that. See if you can feel the energy is more in the higher chakras now. The heart, the throat, the third eye. And let's bring our knees in and roll up to sitting. We'll just come into a sitting posture before we go into Shavasana.
Just to do a little pranayama while we're in this more quiet space and the energy has been it's gone into the higher chakras. Already it's making me more quiet, so it's working. I'm just going to feel the breath and the flow of the breath again, gentle ujjayi. We're going to come to alternate nostril breathing or nadi shodhana. Taking your right hand into this mudra and placing the right thumb on the right nostril. Inhale through the left with the soft sound of ujjayi. Nice and slow, exhale out the right. Inhale through the right. Nice and slow, exhale out the left. Inhale through the left. Exhale out the right. Inhale through the right. Exhale out the left. And do 3 more in your own time. And start to bring your attention to the third eye as you inhale. We're breathing up into the third eye, and as we exhale, we're breathing out of the third eye. And the breath is energy, prana, life force. So we're energizing Ajna chakra as we do this technique. Making this your last round. Slowing down the breath. Not pushing or forcing, just allowing it to flow. And we end by breathing out through the left nostril. And then breathing in through both nostrils, drop your hand. Hopefully you can feel the balancing effects of this pranayama. Opening the left and the right channel, Ida and Pingala Nadi, and bringing the energy into Sushumna Nadi, the central channel, which runs along next to the spine. So let's inhale up to the top of the head, and exhale all the way down to the base of the spine. 3 more of those, inhaling up to the top of the head. Exhaling down to the base of the spine. And now less breath, more focus on the energy, rising with a gentle breath and going down. Energy rising and descending down through the spine. And now coming into very short meditation to finish. We come back to our poem by Mirabai. On my travels, I spent time with the great Yogi, and once he said to me, he said, "Become so still that you can hear the blood flowing through your veins. Become so still that you can hear the blood flowing through your veins. That night, as I sat quiet, I seemed on the verge of entering a world inside that is so vast. I know it is the source of all of us. I know it is the source of all of us. Breathe that in and bring your hands to your heart at the same time. In this practice, we've been honoring the water element within us, the flow, the fluidity, the pleasure. Now we get a chance to relax in shavasana. So come down and totally surrender. You can spend as long as you want in shavasana, making it as comfortable as you like with cushions and pillows. Take a little moment to feel comfortable. And then what I want you to do is inhale. Exhale out through the mouth with a sigh. And let go of any holding on. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. And this last one, we're going to let go of everything. Deep breath in. Spend as long as you need in this beautiful posture, which heals and nourishes and replenishes. And enjoy. Thank you for joining me with this water practice.